This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so I realized I have done a lot with this bucket, but I haven't actually played the main game. So that's what I'm gonna do, play the Stanley Parable.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figurine Finders Committee today in the meeting room. Oh, we're going that way. We're gonna go to the meeting room. Today we're gonna do the thing, the actual thing.
It's bucket time.
Hello, Bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. I always feel weird actually following the instructions in this game. I want to not do that. That's concerned. We need more planks. We need more planks. Mission status. Oh, I've done this. This is where all the collectibles are. I'm missing only 3. There will be a reward for finding them all. This room brings a lot of questions. 1. Who is Chris and why is he dead on the warehouse floor? 2. Who's employee 421 and who are the rest of the people that put all of this together? Follow clues provided by employee 416. Who is employee 416? Where is everyone? Why am I so alone and why do all the figurines look like me? This game always brings about like a weird creepiness about it because there's something going on. There's something sinister. There's more people around and I want to know. Stanley Parable is a mystery hidden in the comedy game. Okay.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Feel
The
what?
broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Can't
You
have
can
it.
feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what
I
the
have a
broom
bucket.
closet is
You have
trying
a
to
mop
say
bucket.
here.
This
It's
is my
supposed to go
bucket.
with the other cleaning supplies.
No.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Wasn't
I
planning
know
to.
how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You
I
can't
married
hand it
this
over.
bucket. We're married now.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
Oi!
That your
I married
relationship
this
is purely
bucket.
superficial
We
and
spent a whole
convenient?
lifetime together. I
That your
slept
life
with
is
this bucket.
so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really
I'm not gonna
tell the
insult the
broom closet off for its
It's an
demeaning
inanimate
comments.
object. I'm not gonna
Expand
insult
on
the
the
broom
wide
closet.
variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket, as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Well, I thought the bucket was evil because the bucket is evil. Apparently, it's a primordial evil, and we've had a lot of problems. Me and this bucket.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
I don't really know how to feel about it.
There.
Oi, I got a sticker.
Now it's settled. No more debate. No more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
But I like this closet. It was my favorite ending.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket.
It's not a bucket.
There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Okay, narrator, not a bucket. Me, not a bucket. This bucket, not a bucket. This broom closet is a bucket.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Narrator? I don't dislike you, broom closet. I think you're okay. I'm talking to a broom closet. I've literally lost all sense of what is and isn't. Ooh,
coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
No, because on that board, it said that there was a collectible where there are stairs. So, bah.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines. And now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I like Figlies, but Stanlerine seems more apt. I will come back to you later, Dor. I want to do the thing. I want to do the actual purpose, the actual game, the Stanley Parable. Bam.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlerines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlerines. None of us can.
I could reset the game. And I'd have none. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say that's a lovely purse. This is a bucket. Elevator. Does this still not go anywhere? Like, it didn't go anywhere before. Does it still not go anywhere? Yep, that goes nowhere. Let's do this.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I mean, I'm not stunned.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would.
So death do us part,
and he
bucket.
knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Dude, that number is ingrained into my soul.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Bucket knows
Yes,
everything.
this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay, honestly, here's the thing, Bucket. I'm getting kind of annoyed at you. I'm also annoyed at you, narrator. Like, I remember when it was just me and the narrator fighting back and forth. Now it's all about the freaking bucket. Maybe we need some time apart, Bucket, because this relationship feels very one-sided.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, we did. Let's do this again.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Speedrun strat's not working. Yeah, it's less glamorous when I already know what's going to happen. Like,
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
No, they didn't. Instead, I have very different questions. 1, is the secret disco still here? And 2, if I fall off the platform, is there still nothing down there? Do you just get trapped forever? First things first, secret disco. Secret disco? High resolution detector. Second question, can I get myself stuck at the bottom?
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below.
There's nothing
Thankfully,
here.
he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now,
there's a
what
bottom
to do
to this
next?
hole.
Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps.
Where'd we get the couch from?
After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
What is this?
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility.
I'll get to it.
This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like
unsettling me.
The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending.
I do, but I'll get to it. I'm not that worried.
Which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Ominous. Okay, so the Stanley Parable still doesn't know how to make a never-ending hole. Here,
It's bucket time. Coming to the staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Yeah, I want to know. Is the bucket being mind controlled? What's up, bucket?
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
I don't trust the bucket, quite frankly.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and
How
the
does a
bucket made a
bucket
sassy comment
high-five?
about taking down the system.
I'm gonna assume that none of these buttons do anything like they didn't do the first time. But 1, 2, 3. What? Why can't I get? Oh, the buttons are different. Is there like an actual way to do this? Okay, bucket, let's go. Mind controls idle, awaiting input.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yeah. Do it. The ending, do the thing.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
Again.
Was it over?
Yes.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
We're never free.
An
I'm stuck
unbearable
here
silence
forever.
filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Why does everything
Even the
want my
facility
bucket?
itself
No!
recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it.
Fine. I want a divorce
Stanley
bucket.
realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
That's kind
To
of
be
a
trapped
terrifying
eternally in
thought.
darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley
That's
thought to himself.
terrifying.
As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley
No.
gulped.
At least at the
Very
bottom of
soon
the
now,
hole we had
He was
furniture.
about to find out.
I was better off in the hole.